Hi there, my name is Caroline and welcome to Friday Sews for Friday, July 25, 2025. It's been a while since I've done a Friday Sews or any recent video. I think I did one recently on for the Sew Foodie Challenge and a little bit about my new projector. But if you don't make videos, the algorithm doesn't like you, YouTube doesn't like you. So I'm not doing this for that. I am doing this as a uh, fun thing for me. It's just so fun to talk to everybody here. Um, anyway, so Friday Sews, as you know, everybody says that. I'm so grateful for Jen who created this hashtag, Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and to talk about life, what's in our sewing room, what we've done, etc. So I actually have my notes here, and let me start out with my recent makes. I made two things that I can remember since my last video, Friday Sews, and that is the Love Notions Rhapsody blouse, and I'll put a picture up here. It was made out of a chiffon fabric, and that was in my stash, and I think it was from my stash from many years ago, and it was from Joann Fabrics. The second make, and I loved. I've never sewn so with chiffon. It was actually easier than I thought. It was not too slippery. I just used my Wonder Clips a whole lot. Excuse me. Do you drink a coffee? I drink a ton of coffee during the day. I drink at least 4 or 5 cups a day. And I will fall asleep. I will drink coffee to wake up, and I'll drink coffee to go to bed. It's psychological more than anything else. And then the second one that I made was the second make, I think was, well, I know it was the Love Notions Capri skirt. This was done in a nice paisley print and satiny paisley print that I found the fabric at Fabric Mart Fabrics. It was quite the deal. If I'm not mistaken, it was $1.99 a yard or $3.99. I do not remember which shelf I picked up, but either way, it was quite a deal. It came together very well. I was a little tricked up by the directions because I made the tiered skirt. I really was actually tricked up by the instructions, and I had to think a lot to put that. It's like, how hard can a tiered skirt is? But if you're following directions, I don't know. It was just me. I was quite tripped up, but it came together in the end, and I liked it. And I made it with fabric from another one. This was a fabric. I made the classic tee to go with it, and the fabric also was from Fabric Mart Fabrics, and I think that was $1 a yard. So I'll put pictures up here. Though that was my makes since I last spoke to you, which I believe in my notebook, or last Friday Sews was a month ago, a little over a month ago. So I've been enjoying projector sewing. I love it. And once again, thank you, Zelda from Zelda Sews, my dear friend, for getting me into it. And now I'm hooked. I am so hooked. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm exclusively doing it, but I love it. I will probably use some printed patterns if I really like it. but I am enjoying projector sewing. And you know what the best part of that is? That I do not have to print and cut out patterns anymore. I can just turn on the projector, turn on my laptop, and there it is. Even if I forget notches or whatever, I can just go put the piece projected onto this table and get the notches in. So ask me any questions about projector sewing. I will hopefully be able to answer you or point you in the right direction, which is actually the right direction is projectorsewing.com. What I've been sewing this week is the Pattern Emporium Lyrical shirt. I am actually, it's here. I think a little over 3/4 done. So I'll show you what I've got done. So I have 2 sleeves done. Right here, it's 2 sleeves done, 2 of them. And I have the bodice done. It's like it's a tie. I did not choose the one, the pattern with, did not choose the option with the collar and collar stand. I prefer that for shirt dresses, but this is a flowy, loose fitting shirt, so I thought I'd just go with the tie, the 2 ties over here. I still have to put that in and insert the sleeves, and I've also put in the button plackets in. I gotta put in the buttons. So that's what's going on in my sewing room this week. After I finish, hopefully I will finish it today or by tomorrow morning. To go with that, I am making, looking at my notes, the Pattern Emporium Vacation Vibes Palazzo pants to go with the Lyrical shirt. So this is it. Here, the Lyrical shirt, and here is the pants that I cut out, the palazzo pants to go with this. I think they go really well. It is a little pinkish yet like wheat color, and I was showing it to, sorry, I dropped that, excuse me. I was showing it to my daughter and she said she would have picked a pink to go with this, and I kind of agree. I agree with her, but I thought I can get a lot of use with this color. I can change tops with this color. With the pink, I would really have to limit, I'd really have to find the matchy tops to go with it. I could wear that, and I'm planning to wear that to work. So when I made the capri skirt and the Love Notions Classic Tee, the set, I wore it to work, and I went to the office, to another floor. There was a young lady who I really adore. Her name is Miriam, and she says, we're kind of close. And I don't know if you remember, I made her a lot of baby clothes back last year for her new baby, for a baby shower, a new baby. She's a lot younger to me, and she is from the country of Burkina Faso. And I really adore this young lady. I want her to do well where we work, and she calls me auntie. And she said, auntie, I really like what you're wearing. And she's like, I'm struggling with clothes to wear because her body has changed ever since she's given birth and all that. And I said, do you like what I'm wearing? She said, I really love what you're wearing, and she prefers longer skirts. I said, you know what? I'll make one set for you. I started making the Lyrical shirt. I'm not charged. This is no charge. I just love it. My stash, as you know, is endless. It's endless. So I took out a fabric from my stash. I cut it out and started to sew the skirt. And then I was not feeling the fabric. It was too, not even a thicker, I don't know what made me pick it up. That looked like a blouse weight fabric that I was using for the skirt. as I kept sewing it, and I tried to insert the pockets, and it was just not sitting right because I was trying to use a blouse weight fabric to make a skirt. I chucked it in the trash. I just had to, because there's no way I'm going to gift something that's improper. That's just not right. It doesn't sit well with me. I do not want to give Miriam something. And my microphone went off again. I'm not sure why this thing goes off. So that's what I'm just looking at my microphone. I'm not sure why this thing is not on. Okay, I'm not even sure if the microphone is working. Yeah. So that's what I am. So I decided to switch gear and make her the Love Notions Ravinia skirt. And the Love Notions, I already had cut out her t-shirt, the classic tee, to go with it. So I found a matching. So this is going to be the classic tee already cut out for her. And then this here is the Ravinia skirt. It goes well. It has the darker shades in between, and yeah, that's the set that I plan to complete. I want to gift it to her on Tuesday, and everything is done on the serger with the Ravinia skirt and the classic tee. So it's going to be for me a breeze, and it has a yoga waist for the Ravinia skirt. Not as in not a yoga. I'm not doing the yoga waist. It's just a easy. A band that I chose to do with it. So that's what's going to be on my sewing plans up until Tuesday, because I want to take that to Tuesday. So I'm going to finish up my lyrical shirt tonight, finish up the pants tomorrow, and Sunday, Monday I'm going to finish up the Ravinia skirt and the classic tee for her, Miriam. I do have a mending to do. Oh, I hate mending. But it's mending for my dad. So dad asked me, he got some new pairs of pants for church. And he asked me to hem them. They're too long. Yeah, that's it. They're too long. I need to bring it down to... My dad is not that tall. He asked me, his length is 29 inches. I gotta bring it down to that. So I will do a blind hem on my sewing machine. He kept asking me and I kept forgetting. I'll do that and I'll take it to him. So what else has been going on? I didn't find. There is a fabric store here in Maryland. If you're from Maryland, you know. After Joann's closed, I went there. The last time I went to the store, it's called G Street Fabrics. It was actually a DC store, and it was on G Street in Washington, DC, and that's why it was G Street Fabrics. I remember going there when I started working in DC at my job 27 years ago. Yeah, I remember going there. Well, then they closed, and then I went in there. Then they had another store near our first home that we were renting as a newly married couple. I would go there because it was 2 minutes, like 5-minute drive from my home. It's G Street Fabrics. This was in Rockville, Maryland. They moved. Then we moved also to the northern side of Maryland, and Baltimore, right? We moved to the Baltimore side. And I stopped going there. And someone, I forgot who it was, made a YouTube video a few weeks ago, and I caught it, and of G Street Fabrics. And I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I gone to G Street Fabrics? So my daughter and I went to G Street Fabrics. The quality of their fabrics is just, it's great quality. I mean, their fabric is, you can get fabric, you know, the pricey ones that are in the hundreds per yard. And then you can they have a room where they just keep, you know, I guess remnant cuts from stores. They get their shipments from New York on Tuesdays, and those are $3 a yard, and that's also nice fabric. So G Street Fabrics, they have tons of, if I took pictures on the phone, I'm gonna leave them here. Tons of buttons. Their button wall is like you pull out drawers and take out buttons, and they have a lot of zippers and trims and just lots, and fabric is just lots. We picked up some fabric from there, so that was great. And then we have a couple of quilt stores that's about an hour drive from me in Westminster, Maryland, which I plan to go visit. It's called Sew and Sweep. If anyone who's watching is from Maryland and who's been there, let me know. They also service Husqvarna Viking machines, which I only have Husqvarna Viking machines. Right there is my Air Threader Serger and cover stitch, and then I have the Designer Epic 2, the embroidery and sewing machine, and I have two other Viking Topaz 40 and 50. So I need to have them serviced. This Designer Epic needs to go in. It's working fine. It's, you know, it's fine. But I think there's something. I was doing a lot of embroidery, and I don't know if I hit the built-in walking foot or something. It's a little bit, I hear it cranking a little bit. It's fine when I disengage the walking foot. So I'm gonna find a place that services it. So I'm gonna go first and talk to them and see. So and look at, I don't quilt as much, but I would like to get into quilting. Carol from CC Sews, I've been doing a lot of machine embroidered quilting, but then she had some foundation piecing. I want to try that. I got the foundation paper piecing, sorry, and I'm going to try something. So what's coming up on this channel, I am actually in the process of creating my first Sew With Me video. I'm no expert. I had the camera there, then I was sewing here, talking, looking at the instructions, then going to the serger, then going to the ironing table. And as I was doing that, I said, okay, let me put a camera behind the machine so you can see me. So I'm going to finish this lyrical shirt, and it's going to be a lot of editing and putting together. I'll see how it comes out. It's my first Sew With Me. And then I saw Zelda from Zelda Sews doing the 20 questions for the sewist, and I don't have all the information. I'd have to go to her channel and look it up, but I thought it would be fun to do it. So I'll plan to do that sometime in the middle of the week. And I also have a fabric haul because my daughter and I took a trip to Fabric Mart Fabrics on Monday. I was off, and we took a quick trip. We were back in 6 hours. We went 2-hour drive, 2 hours there, and 2 hours back. We were back home in 6 hours, and it was fun. I have a lot of fabric to show you. I thought I'd do a fabric haul, and also some of the fabric I picked up from G Street Fabric. A little bit about life. It's summer vacation for my kids who are both doing internships right now. They're in grad school. My daughter will finish her first graduate degree, and she's planning to move on to a second graduate degree. But my son will finish up, and then, you know, he's doing an internship and looking for a more permanent job. So, and I think this went off again. I have no clue why it's doing that. But yeah, so they're, you know, busy enjoying family life with them. You know, they always want us to be, as parents, even at this age, they want us to be included in everything they do. If they go watch a movie with their friends, the next day it's like, Mom, Dad, do you want to come? And, you know, we go along with them. They want us involved in everything, which is so sweet and kind of them, and we love doing it. And I've been busy taking care of, attending to my parents. My dad will be 80 in coming April, and my mother will be 73 in April of 2026. So my mother has been diagnosed with um, um, normal pressure hydrocephalus, which is the brain is retaining cerebral fluid, and instead of we all are able to excrete, or our body absorbs it, our cerebral fluid. My mom's has been collecting for years, and the ophthalmologist actually found the problem. He said, "Oh, I think there's something behind your eye." And long story short, after so much of consulting and she being afraid of the treatment plan, delayed everything. So finally, 6 to a year later, she decided that yes, she will go in for 2 days of lumbar punctures. So she had 2 days of lumbar punctures, which I had to, my sister, I'm the driver. I drove her, and my father and my daughter, we all we're in Maryland, far off in Virginia, and Loudoun County, where she had her spinal taps. They were able to take out almost 10 tubes of brain fluid through her spinal cord. She's feeling much better. At least because she's totally unable to walk with all this brain fluid, because she's constantly dizzy and has a lot of pain on her thighs. Anyway, don't want to get too much into it. She's doing better after this, and she sees a neurologist August 7th. And if all goes well, and if she has improved, then they're going to recommend putting a permanent tube in her brain, or a shunt in her brain, which attaches to either her heart area or her tummy area, and it drains the fluid. Thank God my sister is a doctor, my brother-in-law is a doctor, so we have all that advice as well. But yeah, that's what's big. So I've been busy, like running over, taking food, cooking. When I get into my car at my house, it takes exactly 12 minutes to their house. So it's really close by, so I can run over there, and take care of their needs. What actually pushed us over and we forced her to go, because she kept falling in the house and in odd places, like while she was in Costco, all sorts of things. So that's what's been going in my life. And thank you so much for coming and watching and hearing me ramble on and on. This thing, I am not sure why this is not working. I charged it, but I'm not sure why it's not working. Okay. Whatever. I hope you all could hear me. Thank you. Please do like and subscribe, and welcome to the few people who joined me recently. I love having you. It's not a fast growing channel because I don't post much, but when I do post, I do enjoy putting it here, and I've made so many friends here. And before I go, I always like to share a Bible verse, and it is on my little calendar here. I like this verse because of all the things, how stressed out I've been this whole week and a couple of weeks. A lot of family issues, with taking care of my mother and things like that. It's actually found in Psalms. This is the Psalms 18 verse 6. It's a reminder. My daughter, she writes, she reads me so well. When she sees how stressed I am, and if I talk about something, I've said this before, she immediately goes to the kitchen chalkboard. We have a chalkboard in the kitchen, and she'll go and she'll write a verse for me to just remind me of God's promises, to remind me that I have someone always there watching me, and who loves me unconditionally, and who I could go to at any time. So today's is perfect. For the past week or two, in my distress, I called upon the Lord. To my God, I cried for help. From his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. I love it. Love it. Amen. What a great comfort and promise that I can cry out, and the Lord hears me, and he comes to me in my distress. Psalms 18 verse 6. Thank you all, and I will see you in my next upcoming videos. God bless you all and have a beautiful, restful, and even some sewing weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.